Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of May VC, which is the May Vlog Challenge. We're doing 31 days of vlogging all throughout May, and yesterday was day 1. It was just a life update, give you a bit of an overview as to where we're at and what we've been up to and what's coming up, etc. So for this second video, we wanted to share with you guys some of the documentaries that we have found to be really educational and really helpful when it comes to learning more about veganism. Veganism is still a minority. There are so many people out there that are yet to find it, so we're hoping to just kind of give people an introduction. And you can check out our vegan stories as well.
Yeah.
If you just scroll back through our videos, both of our stories as to how we found veganism are there. But first of all, people come to veganism in many different ways. The first that comes to mind would be health. Everyone's really excited and fascinated about diet and health and lifestyle and stuff like that. And I know that was sort of more my approach initially. I had no idea
A little bit for both of us.
Yeah, actually, same with Courtney as well. We didn't know as much about the animal rights and activism side of things, and as much about the environment and that sort of thing. But it is basically health, the animals, obviously, and the environment. They're kind of like the three prongs of the veganism approach. And there's some really great documentaries out there that are worth checking out. For health, for example, first one that comes to mind would probably be Forks Over Knives.
Yeah.
And that's a really good documentary.
Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead.
Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, yeah, that's a great documentary.
Simply Raw.
Simply Raw, it's really good. Food Inc. And there's one coming out a bit later in the year. I think it's about 80 something days away, which is called Food Choices as well. So look out for that one, because that's a really good overview of sort of all the different health aspects.
They had a little teaser for that online that we watched, and it's a really good one, especially for vegan beginners or people just coming into veganism. It's very easy to understand and covers a whole lot of different topics.
Yeah, and there's a lot of plant-based medical doctors with decades of experience, so you don't just have to take our word for it. You can actually see the science behind it and that it is a legit thing. Also, you can get most of these online, either on YouTube or you can stream them on Netflix as well. So make sure you just, we'll put all the links on the video and down below so you guys can check it out.
So another reason why someone would go vegan is probably for environmental reasons. Everyone wants to be environmentally friendly and likes to think they're environmentally conscious and that sort of thing. So one really great documentary we watched maybe last year or 2 years ago was Cowspiracy. That is a giant eye-opener into environmental factors surrounding animal agriculture and fishing and that sort of stuff. Yeah,
and there's a lot of really good science-backed facts on there as well. It's not just some random documentary. It actually has a lot of really insightful scientific evidence that's throughout. Things like up to 91% of the Amazon rainforest is destroyed for animal agriculture, which is just ridiculous. And things like 45% of the land on the earth is actually inhabited by animals for animal agriculture. And so there's just some really shocking facts and things that you see on this documentary that kind of make you question a lot of things. And it's good to get the mind thinking about these things. It's kind of our responsibility to say, hey, what am I putting on my plate? What am I voting for with my dollars? What am I doing to the earth that I love and live on and everything? So so Cowspiracy is a good place to start when it comes to some of the environmental factors, for sure.
Definitely. There's also another really good one called Mission Blue, which I think is on Netflix. Seaspiracy, which is on YouTube.
And also a lot of people don't realize that there is a big tie between the problems in the oceans and the animal agricultural, animal farming practices on land. So much of the runoff and the waste and all these things that actually affect the oceans really badly. So again, we'll chuck up all the links so you guys can check those out and share them around, because they're a really good place to start. So last but definitely not least is the animal aspect. Now, this is actually the most important part, and this is pretty much the crux of veganism. You know, it's all about the animals. It's an animal rights movement. The environment, the diet, the way we eat, that's just a bonus that it's a healthier way of living, and it's a better thing for the environment to be vegan. But the animals is actually the number one reason, and I think probably the main documentary out there that everyone needs to see is Earthlings.
Yeah.
You have to watch it because it's one of those things where once you see that sort of thing, you can't then just unsee it and switch off and say, hey, that's fine, I'll just go and buy my free range whatever and chicken or eggs and I'll be okay sort of thing. The amount of animals that are killed every year unnecessarily is just outrageous.
So even if you think you know a lot about animal agriculture and what goes on behind closed doors, it's still really, really worth watching Earthlings. There's so much that you think you know that you don't actually know that is explained and showed to you in Earthlings.
Yeah, and also we often hear, well, you know, that doesn't happen in Australia, and that only happens over in these other barbaric countries or whatever. Go to aussiefarms.org.au and you will see some videos and links from Aussie Farms, short documentaries like 1,000 Eyes, Lucent, and various other ones that show the Australian farming practices.
Lucent is an Australian made documentary about pig farms.
Yeah, we even did some activism, a peaceful demonstration in our city in Perth a little while back, and we had some conversations with guys that were farmers, and we showed them some videos of Australian farming practices, and they'd never seen that before, and they said they'd been raising cows for years, and they were like, oh, I didn't even know this happened. Like, is this really what goes on? Is this really what's happening? You know, there's this sort of disconnect between, you know, what people think they need to do and they have to do to survive based on what they eat or what they earn or whatever, as to what is actually happening.
Another couple of documentaries I also want to point out is The Cove and Blackfish. They are really, really worth watching if you want to know a little bit behind animals being used for SeaWorld and for, just animals being exploited.
Yeah, and that sort of leads on to the use of animals in things like circuses and other entertainment purposes. I mean, a lot of it is about, you know, the consumption of animals and the mistreatment of animals, but there are so many other avenues that when you start to learn more about veganism, you realize are just as important, and even things like clothing as well, what we wear. So there's a lot to take in with these documentaries, but it's really worth watching them and educating yourselves so that you understand more about what veganism is and what's really going on behind closed doors.
So we're going to wrap it up here. We just wanted to briefly discuss some of the documentaries we think are really worth watching. If you know any more yourself, please leave them in the comments below because it might be really helpful for other viewers. Like always, if you want to see more from us, please like and share and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you for some more videos during May.
Peace.
See ya.